welcome back to Strange Minds 6. I'm your host Ruby, and today we are going to be reading the final chapter of the Octunnumi by Trevor Allen Force. Now, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet, it would mean a great deal to me. And without further ado, my dear friends, let's grab a snack, grab a drink, or sit back and relax, and let's get to it. Are you sure you are not lost? The aroma of wild garlic blending with damp soil releases into the air as the boys, subdued and tired, trudge enough the carpet of green underfoot. The dappled light ripples through the leafy canopy above the serene woodland surrounding them. Following Reg resists the urge to tell Trad what they had circled this way, that they had circled this way already. He figures that, like himself, his brother is happy to just wander for a while in the beautiful environment, if only to give them time to process the events of the day before. Search teams have been working all night, each insomid under Nate's control, storming the defenses, breaking barriers, blocks, anything to get through. Nothing was held back in the search. The orders had been to use caution to ensure your own safety, the usual, but no one cared, no one listened. That was how they had managed to reclaim so many instruments, mostly empty now, bar some inhabitants that had not been lucky enough to get out when they were taken, but crucially no children and no Nate. At daybreak, the order had come to secure the instruments, pull back, and immediately convene at the emergency safe house. They were late. It was noon. Trad had refused to stop until every last one of the Alliance instruments had been brought back under Octunnumi protection. Reg had not objected. He didn't have plans to stop either. Lost, Trad replies, trying to lighten the mood. We spent our entire childhood in these woods. Of course I'm not lost. Veeb, sure, Veeby mutters, perched on Trad's shoulder, smiling sweetly at his sidelong glance. Right, Reg says, joining in the effort. So, passing this tree twice is not lost, then? What tree? Trad stops, looking around in the vast selection of trees he had to choose from. Veeby, that tree, Veeby says, turning Trad's face in the direction of Reg, who, leaning against a large oak, offers a small wave. No, we haven't passed. He hesitates. Veeby folds her arms and waits for the penny to drop. Oh, wait. And there it is. So, lost, Reg smiles. No, Trad says, glancing around, realizing that they had been around this bit before. Just, he continues, momentarily confused. Only momentarily? A small voice asks in surprise. Veeby, yippee! Veeby veeps excitedly, zipping over in the direction of the voice. Okay, Trad sighs, turning to face a fallen tree trunk. How long have you been there? How long? Another voice replies near Trad. Have we been waiting for you? She continues as the Tulligan girls slowly materialize. How long have we watched you go around in circles? Leaning against trees and sitting on branches, the girls take form, each embracing Vibi as she greets them all individually. Count yourself lucky. The girl, currently somersaulting from an overhanging branch to the ground, says, You have guests waiting. Landing in a perfect pose before adding, Otherwise, we were quite happy to let you continue to be lost. I'm not. Trad stumbles. Okay, it's been a long time. Well, she shrugs, tickling Vibi's belly, who is completely relaxed on her outstretched hand. If you visited your mother more often, perhaps you'd remember the way. Vibi, that's right, Vibi mutters, hardly able to lift her head in the dreamlike state. So, it's not enough that I see her every day, Trad replies. He smiles, adding, So you got away from Nate then? Honestly? Another replies, throwing a small metal bolt to Vibi, who instantly alert catches it midair. How could he have kept us this way? Returning to Trad's shoulder, Phoebe happily munches on her treat. Okay, adds another, as they take the lead. He did catch us off guard at Veith's, but as soon as he tried to touch us, she clicks a finger and vanishes. Pretty hard to handcuff something you cannot see, especially, she pauses, reappearing behind Reg, when we keep moving. And the others? Reg asks. She responds with a brief shake of her head. Another offers. We did get their location, though. That was you? Trad asks. Of course, she smiles. But as you know, we couldn't get them out. Or us in, Trad says. True, but you know they are safe. And we were waiting for you. Right. Following the group of girls further into the woodlands, the chatter dies down as the canopy above them becomes denser. The thickening undergrowth and climbing brambles, intended as a deterrent, creeps and stretches away, parting as they approach, providing a pathway through the increasingly impenetrable barrier, closing in behind as they pass until finally opening up into a small glade. The gathering trees from tight copses around them, making onward movement impossible, heading for the largest oak amongst them. Reg reaches into the ivy. After a moment, a narrow line of soft light snakes its way out of the edges of a door concealed within the vines, becoming wider as he pulls it open. Both the heady sweetness and the inviting light ahead of them intensifies the deeper they travel into the tree, arriving at the top of an irregular, twisting staircase The boys pause to remove their coats, while Phoebe, beside herself with excitement at seeing everybody, launches past the girls, over the rail, and down to the others gathered in the room below. The place never failed to impress, no matter how many times they came. A living, breathing entity not dissimilar to the interior of a cathedral, one of wood, living wood, where the cathedral had carved stone. Here were trees, ivies, flowers, all working together to form the walls and detailed embellishment, far-reaching arches coming together high overhead and weaving themselves together, allowing shafts of the midday sunlight to peek through. Stepping into the balcony of the staircase, the boys stare out across the far side of the room, the interior opening up and framing the spectacular scene beyond. This was without exception a remarkable tree house. Of course, it had the protection of the wood imps to thank for this, although that came at quite a price. Boys! Theos greets them at the front door. Theos greets them at the foot of the stairs. Placing a hand on each of their shoulders, he walks with them. So? Trad asks, shooting a glance at his father. Just how mad is she? Pretty mad, Theos replies. As they make their way across the room, Reg nods to Mansfield and Elisfe, viewing a cluster of rolling images from the night before. Summerhouse mad? Trad inquires, acknowledging Ectrovia and Ellery a little further in. Fioneth waves from behind them as Veeth moves away from her to join Reg. She was mad about the summer house. Theos nods, smiling, but I'd say more first training mission mad. When we didn't call, right? The groups scattered around the room gradually drift toward Apfum Wenchlock to the left of the room, fully extended, its layers maneuvering as Madrin, her back to them in deep conversation with Mr. Ward and Smythe, inspects the various levels. Chatter was low and to a minimum, exchanging the bare facts. Not one of them had any leads on where the children or Nate was. Doris, although not an Alliance member, decked out in her version of a uniform, an almost identical copy of her usual green attire, but black. Thinks twice about rushing over to greet Reg, as Smythe, sensing their approach, turns and steps to one side. Suddenly jerking her head up from the table, Margarine spins to face the boys. Oh boy. Quickly backs away. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Suddenly jerking her head up from the table, Margarine spins to face the boys, the emotionless features not missed by Theos, who, muttering, "Oh boy," quickly backs away, pushing the boys forward and pulling Veeth back. "Mum, we Don't Eve crumbling into the role of worried out of the mind mother. Margarine flings her arms open around them, burying her face into their chests, unable to decipher the mumbling as she rants, and trapped by her arms, they both blush under the smirks of the others in the room. And Margarine continues with her rant as she releases them. If you have to disobey your commanding officer's order, at least have the decency to call your mother. But don't think for a minute, she scowls, that just because I am both, that is in any way an excuse. Clasping them by an arm each, she frowns. So as your mother, how dare you put yourself in danger? She smiles. And I've made your favorite cake. And Reg asks, tentatively, as our commanding officer? Well, she straightens her jacket. You are both on kitchen duty for a week. But what? So, she says, quickly returning to the map and her role of commanding officer. What do we do, and what do we know? Thanks to Ectrovia and the girls, we have a lock on our ops, Mr. Ward offers. We just have to figure out how to get them, Theos adds. We had no option but to seal all of the instruments, Ectovia states. It was the only way. A temporary shutdown is better than being left exposed, Margarine smiles. And still nothing on Nate? Nothing. The children? We're still trying to establish who would have the abilities to operate an energy field strong enough to grab them. We don't think it's Nate who's got them. Whoever has them, Fiona comments. How did they know where they were? Where we were? And, Elisfe adds, if the children had remained undetected for all those years, then how, in a matter of hours, did someone locate and lock onto their presence? Where's Edgar? Asks Trad. What? In his rooms, I assume, Theos mutters. We have sent word, Margarine adds, for him to join us here, she gestures. I guess he feels that this operations business. I'm not asking. Trad cuts in. If he has an invite, I'm asking because he isn't here. Meaning? Come on. Trad laughs. I can't be the only one that sees the connection. He glances around. No? So the fact that wherever Edgar goes, Nate follow. Trad! Reg intervenes, glancing across the room. No, Reg, he continues. Something is just not adding up. Not one to be standing up for my father. Caddison interrupts from her chair, looking over to the fields. But the same could be said about you, Trad. Me? Yes, she continues, raising slowly from her chair as Manfield rushes over to help her. Wherever you have been. Wait a minute. For a start, I didn't want Nate in the Octunnumi in the first place, he rants, and for another, I'm always with Reg. Your point? Oh, so now it's both of us, is it? If the cap fits. Wow, that's rich, considering you choose to be friends with. Considering who you choose to be friends with. He glances over at Eblon. Got something to say, Trad? He retaliates, rising. Actually, she has a point, Octavia adds, gathering her girls. Reg has been secretly contacting. I haven't been contacting. Everyone shut up! The fractious vibes are stopped in their tracks by Francine's intervention. Better. Circling the room, she continues. Come on, come on, come on! I don't have time for this. She pauses. I shall send the cats. At this, the three felines jump from the table and skirt the room. The flurrying of activity erupts to Cetrice's left as the cats jump up, swiping at the air beneath a low hanging branch. It leaves quivering ever so gently. All right, all right. For goodness sake, Wally Skaggs, gripping for dear life with both legs and arms wrapped tightly around the branch, having been startled by the cats, grinning sheepishly as he comes into view. Evenings, he says, reaching for his hat and then thinking better of it as a cat launches itself spread-eagled into the air, missing by quite a margin, but still sending the nervous Wally clambering up high. Huh, yeah. He smirks. Think you're so clever? Oh! Picking the little man from the branch, with a stream of energy, Alonabeth carries him to the map, dismissing the layers. He sits very still on an invisible disc carrying him. I thought you had learnt from the last time we had the pleasure of your acquaintance, she remarks. Well, Wally replies absently. I'm just doing my job, you know, having found the perimeters and not liking his chances of not falling. He clings tightly to an unseen edge. All gots to earn a livings, right? At the expense of others. Some people's, he says, appreciate our work. Thank us for taking their minds off things. I will be taking your mind completely if you don't tell us what you are doing. My jobs, he states, like I said. For who? Never mind. Francine rubs her brow. Reg, wait, wait! Wally shouts, holding up his hands. He removes his hat. With the other, slicks his hair, holding up his bowler. Okay, as Reg places his forefinger on the little man's head. Nothing. He's wiped, Reg announces. Just told to mess with us. To turn us against each other. Why? Oh no. The details are down to me. It's just told to mess with you. The house is up to me. Right. That's it. I've had enough of this. Francine snaps. You, my good friend, are going back to your homeland. She raises her hand. No, no. Okay. Stops. I got information, he yells. You have nothing. We have already established this. Oh, but I haves, he smirks. I know where the children's are. And just like that, this chapter, the book, is finished. I hope that you liked it, my dear friends. Please leave in the comment down below if you liked how it ended, or I should say, how it was left to be continued. And if you have any other recommendations, please put it down below. This has been Ruby, as I am signing off. Good day, my dear friends.